Well, hello, this is Rochelle and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Thea page. Now, if you don't know what a Thea page is, that is a Thea page. I just adore this woman. She is beyond knowledgeable and encouraging and uplifting. When I do a class with her, I've only done one, and then bought some of her kits, but she explains everything, why you use which color you use, why this element's on the page. So I love that it's not just, and I hate saying this, but kind of like mindless arting. It really has a purpose, and I love that. This is a primer that she has created, and I don't do primers, you know this. But for this specific, it's called a transfer method. You do need a primer or a sort of other thing. So you put your picture face down onto your page, both of which have been treated with this medium, and let it dry. Then once it's dry fully, you take some water and you gently rub all over this transfer or this piece of paper that you stuck face down onto your page, and you let kind of the paper fray away, and it leaves the image that was on your picture reverse side onto your page. Very strange, but it works. I do have a spot there that I kind of overworked or had an air bubble in, so that you'll see the piece came off, and there's a big round hole in the middle of my picture, but it's not a train smash. I will fix it with some color in a minute. This obviously is the first time that I've done this kind of transfer on my paper or in my Bible. I have done like a masking tape transfer. Must say it did not work quite as well. So well done, Thea. I am very impressed with your techniques, and for teaching me these things. Had to go back to the instructions quite a few times to make sure that I got it. And then after this is dry, then you apply a layer of that medium over this picture. So in the beginning, it's just between the page and the picture front. Don't cover the top, otherwise you won't be able to kind of take off this picture or the paper to make it this transfer. So now kind of just working on blending it into my page, which, yeah, that was a whole different kind of ball game, but we'll get there. So I'm just putting this medium over this image as well, kind of to seal it onto the page, and then letting that dry before I get some acrylic paints and some sponge daubers. And Thea, you would be so proud of me. My nails was full of blue paint, and yes, it is what it is. So I kind of just took 3 different Decart Americana paints and laid them down on this empty white space in this page, kind of trying to blend it into the picture a little bit. May have gone overboard, I don't know. So I must say I really enjoyed this process, and this process is working in Joshua 1 verse 9. Well, actually Joshua 1 from verse 6 all the way up to verse 9. It says, "Be strong and courageous, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land that I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to do according to all the law that Moses my servant commanded you." And then again in verse 9 it says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." And this image is just so gorgeous, and it just fits so beautifully into this verse. Needless to say, I cannot do hands. When my daughter Ruth sees my hands, she's like, "Mommy, no." So my hand is a bit of a disaster there, but nonetheless, adding some roses in the background. This is a stencil that is part of the kit that Thea has provided, and I'm just using some white gesso to kind of dauber through my stencil here and adding those little kind of background hues here. I think they kind of look like clouds almost. I like that. And then I definitely think it was snowing this day because, yes, my page just did not turn out like Thea's at all. I'm battling with the hair and it looks a bit wind blown. But nonetheless, this time in the Word really encouraged me to not be discouraged. So many times in our lives, things happen that just really take us or knock us for a six. We're out. I mean, it's game over. No more lives left, and we feel like giving up. And Father God says here to Joshua to not be afraid and to not be discouraged. And he actually uses this instruction: have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So no matter the circumstance, no matter where you find yourself, no matter what you are going through, God is with you, and he's not only calling you to kind of go through it and make it to the other side, he's actually calling you to be strong, to be courageous, to not be discouraged or dismayed, to not be frightened. And so often I think we kind of miss the plot and have to go around that mountain or through that desert again because we merely survived. We didn't conquer and have that good attitude in the middle of, to find that one thing that you can be thankful for in the middle of. Paul says, in everything give thanks, not for everything give thanks. So that then directly means that we need to, in the middle of the worst circumstances, in the middle of the fight of your life, you need to give thanks. Not be discouraged, not be dismayed, not be frightened. I used some alpha stamps and the alpha stamps is alphabet stamps. It's just kind of short, and I've heard many people in the kind of artsy world use alpha stamps. And I'm just using that with some ink and sticking down my date there. And I wanted to put this little fine, I don't know what you call it, piece of fabric at the bottom of my page, and I stuck it down with some red super sticky tape. Then I took some stickles and added that. I added some of the little frayed pieces of material on the bottom as well, just sticking them down with this kind of stickles that I had. And that just adds a little bit extra. Very sure that it's not necessary, but it did just work for me and bring that softness of God softly saying or commanding us to be strong and courageous into this page. Adding my little tab and then adding some of that stickles, which mine broke, so trying to use it up. And that's my page. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Pick up a Thea's kit. See you soon. Bye-bye.